What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers Studio Series review. And today, the figure that we're looking at is the Leader Class Studio Series Coronation Starscream. And if that looks an awful lot like Earthrise Starscream, it's because it basically is. There they are, side by side. You can see that they are almost exactly the same figure. A couple little subtle changes. Paint app on the face is a little bit different. The inside of this tit turban is fully painted in here. There's like a red around the border for this one. A couple other super minor details. The only sculpt difference is this guy's got open hands and this guy's got closed hands. There's a small paint app that gets added on back here. They took off this paint app here on the tail and changed the way these paint apps are underneath. Just a couple super subtle things. Also really subtle, but like the guy who loaned me this figure, he says that that the surface details, the greebles, are sharper, and I don't think that there's any way that I could bring this out on camera, but I believe he's right. I kind of feel like they cut a completely new mold for the Coronation Starscream, even though it's almost exactly the same as this one. I feel like they cut a completely new mold, because it is like ever so slightly sharper. It's crazy subtle though, so I don't know. Anybody who has both these figures, go ahead and comment and let me know what you think. He says it's most obvious in fighter mode, so I don't know. But anyhow, let's talk about accessories. So he comes with his regular null rays, but of course, like, this figure is all about the accessories. He's got a crown. He's got shoulder pads. He's got a new set of null rays since they won't fit on his coronation set. And he comes with a cape, which is very much like the MP11 cape. And he comes with a whole freaking throne, so that's cool too. Now, one of the things about this is that you can store everything on this throne. You can store these shoulders. There's pegs. You're not going to be able to see on this. There's pegs deep inside there. But there's those, and stick the null rays on there. And the crown is supposed to fit in here, though. There you go. It's not the best fit. Like, I feel like the tolerances are just ever so slightly off. And you know what? I'm a machinist. I can probably fix that. But I might also, like, completely screw it up, because without some more precise analysis tools, I may not be able to identify exactly where the issue is. So if this would fit, then ideally everything could fit on this crown, and that would be cool, and then you could, like, sit them on there. And he could just be like, what up? Where my Cybertronian women's at? But yeah, it's a little thing. By the way, when you weren't looking, I totally got that crown to fit. So these, of course, all work on the figure. So let's pull these back off real quick. And get them put up on Starscream. So the shoulders have got this little flap that comes out. By the way, they are identical forward and backward, so it doesn't matter which one goes on which shoulder. And then you plug this null ray. This null ray, by the way, is molded in blue, but painted entirely gray. So the only new See, that supports the idea that they only made like an add-on for it. Because this is blue, so that would fit with the blue hands, which are the new sprue. Like if they were cutting a completely new mold, they could have cut gray null rays. I don't know. It's super weird. Super weird. Maybe it's just a different mold. I'm sure that they don't have just like one mold for a figure that they're making a bajillion copies of. Anyhow. Okay, that's weird. I just noticed that this does have left and right etched into the part for assembly, I guess. It's not my left or his left. That one fits like that, and that one fits exactly the same way. I don't know, it's weird. So these just fit into these ports, the shoulder ports that the null rays earlier fit into. And then the cape comes around and plugs in the back right here. And then the crown goes on his little noggin. And now he's ready to get blasted by Galvatron. So it's exciting. But yeah, in terms of posability, his null rays can still move about. They are on these little hinges. There's this double angle here, so you can rotate this on the peg to kind of splay out his cape to have it like more like billowy and dramatic. Though, I will point out that, as you can see, it will be asymmetrical because this will only rotate so far because of this little pylon here. So, when it's full out, like, it's going to, like, hang out way to the right. So, I don't know. Display it how you wish. The figure itself, I'm not going to go over the posability because it is literally the same figure as the Earthrise. The only thing that they added is they changed his hands and they made it so that they grasp ever so slightly. And that's it. That's the only posability change that they made. So let's get him transformed up into his alt mode. So first we're just going to strip all these accessories off of him. And yeah, let's get down to it. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Alright, so let's go, and first thing you're going to do, bring this around, close this in there. Pull this up to crack open his chest. Rotate this around, bring this out. You're going to pull up on these hands, bring them back on their little double joints, close them up. We're just going to close the hands and fold them up just like so. And the same for the other side. Pull open this on the front. Combiner wars his arms in, close that up. Fold both of his hands inside. And bring that around. And then open up his legs. You want to flip up his dick plate real quick. Open up his legs. Combiner wars those in. Close this. Bring that all into position. And do the same for the other leg. Open, Combiner Wars, close, rotate, clip, plug those legs together, plug those in. Oh, come on, Tab. And there he is in his jet mode. And he's looking pretty dope. There he is with Starscream. Oh, that's not right. And there he is with Starscream. And yeah, you can see that they look basically the same. He does have a point. I don't know if it's necessarily that... Taking another look at it, I'm not sure if it's necessarily that the paint lines are sharper on this. It's a very slightly different quality of gray. And it may have less like subsurface scattering, you know, in terms of light reflection. It may have less subsurface scattering, which would make the panel lines stick out more. Maybe that's what's going on. That, and I'm totally 100% willing to say that I'm sure that there are multiple different copies of the molds that they use. So, like at the very least, I can say that these weren't printed on the exact same mold, like the exact same like serial number of mold. They are identical molds aside from the hands and the null rays. Oh, by the way, you can take the null rays and you can plug them in. These are just as regular Starscream null rays, but you can also take these Coronation null rays and you can plug those in right here. So he can be all null right up. And in fact, if you were like most people who bought Earthrise Starscream because they're like, holy crap, it's a really nice Starscream. And then the Coronation set comes out a few years later and they're like, shit, well, I guess I got to get that too. Then you'll have another set. So you could like put null rays in there too. And yeah, those Autobots will not know what hit them. Absolutely no fucking clue. So, no storage for these guys in here. Of course, they will all store on the base, more or less, except this guy, unless I can get this to agree with me again. And I did! I did! Super happy with myself. Oh, I forgot that these go in there somewhere. Just shove them in. But yeah, there's Coronation Starscream, and I mean, I want to give this guy a full recommendation, and in fact, I probably will. But like on the other hand, he doesn't have anything new aside from the Coronation set, which does reproduce an iconic scene for Starscream. But like, do you really want to buy another figure for one scene? If the answer is yes, absolutely go for it. If the answer is no, then I totally understand. That being said, this throne is nice. Like, there's all sorts of figures that fit in this throne. Like, all sorts of figures. Siege Megatron? Yes. Yes, he will fit. Make Toys Rider Despotron? There he goes. Totally fits. Big Firebird Toys Nicey? Totally fits. Would fit even better if you took off her backpack kibble. So not only do you get a new version of a figure that's already a good figure, but like you get one of the best accessories that Transformers has ever made. And that may be worth the price of admission alone. So that's what I've got to say about that. Thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.